welcome to another edition of Flea Market Fantasy, the world's second greatest Bronze Age era comic book podcast. Joining me as always is new Michael, Kevin, Jank.
I'm here, Mike Dell, and I gotta say, as good as this issue was, I am sad that it did not have any kind of hostess ad in it. We're really lacking on those this year.
It does have a pretty interesting music ad, if you noticed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss that when we get there. But
Also, one that's talking about, like, I think a bike or something. It says one for roads, one for loads. So
I don't know.
make of that what you will.
I think, yeah, I think they mean hauling things. But all right, so today we are doing Superman issue 264 from June of 1973, I believe. And
Yeah.
this is Superman fighting the Phantom quarterback.
But they are really trying to, pump him up as the greatest Superman villain he's ever fought, but
It's
I
the
don't know. It didn't
Phantom
really pan out that way.
quarterback. Yes. Okay. So before we get into that, though, let's remind everybody if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hey, Jank, I think we're up to 394 subscribers. Now,
Ooh, closing in on four hundo.
wasn't last week, wasn't it only like 385 or something? Did we really jump
I
up
think
nine?
so. Maybe they're bots, but I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
As long as they count.
We love ribbits. So, yeah. If we get nine a week going forward, I'm kind of terrified now that I'm going to have to read The Dark Knight
Yes.
if we get to 500.
You're gonna love it.
So, because that just seemed like a pipe dream. But no, I don't know. If we get nine subscribers a week, oh yeah.
Yeah, we won't. I'm
Okay.
sure next week it'll be like one or zero.
We'll start going backwards again.
Yeah.
All right,
Roll
but
back like a shady car dealer's odometer.
thanks to everybody for subscribing. We appreciate it. And again, if we get to 500, Jank's making me read The Dark Knight. So,
Mm-hmm.
and also have a book out there called Monkey Flip about a chimp detective. All right.
That's
So,
right.
Superman 264, the old secret of the Phantom quarterback. And yeah, I don't really have a lot of notes here for this one. So, because it's Superman, everyone knows who
Yep.
Superman is. We've
Yep.
discussed
Talked about him
Superman,
many a time.
yes. The writer here is Cary Bates. We've talked about him many times as well. And if memory
Hmm.
serves, I think he wrote the Atomic Skull story with Superman
Oh,
or Atomic
that was a
Skulls.
memorable one. Yeah. The Man
Turned a
Bat
cat
story.
into a lady so he could have sex with the cat, which I think Cary Bates wrote that. And the artist here is Kurt
We know a lot about
Swan.
Cary Bates then.
Kurt Swan is like the most famous Superman artist ever.
Yeah.
He drew like over 1,200 stories involving Superman over the various Superman titles. So
We've definitely done a couple.
yeah, so he may have drawn the Atomic Skull one too. That I think about it. That was Action Comics, I think, right? That was
Was it? I thought that was like some weird team up book, like because it was him
hmm,
and Man Bat.
can't remember. All right, but anyway, so yeah, the creators here we've talked about many times. We know Superman. There is a character in this book no one's ever encountered until this issue. But besides the Phantom quarterback, it's slinging Steve Lombard. Is that his name? Steve, right? Steve Lombard.
Yep, that sounds right.
He's a quarterback who he's based. You can tell he's based on Joe Namath, I think, because
Mm.
this is 1973. He's a quarterback with bad knees, and he apparently spends the nights before games with three women, as we learned in the beginning of this.
Yeah,
Uh,
but at least he's very good about staying on curfew.
yeah, that is true because it is the Super Bowl. He's very excited to play
That's
the
right.
Super Bowl. It's the morning
He's
of the
cutting it
Super
close to
Bowl.
getting there, for the Super
Yes.
Bowl, but he gets a good night's sleep at least.
I have so many questions about how this all went down
Yeah.
because
It starts off with a real strange scene.
it's the best. This is one of my favorite scenes ever. This
Yep,
is a definite what the fuck nominee for the Golden Quesadilla Awards. This
absolutely.
this is
This woman
amazing.
definitely had some postpartum or something. She wanted to get rid of that baby.
So, but anyway, yeah, there's really nothing. Oh, but Steve Lombard, he's a quarterback, and then he becomes a regular character in the pages of Superman.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Yeah, he becomes, spoiler alert, at the end of the issue, he becomes like the news of the sports anchor for the TV station. Because at this point in time, Clark Kent was a news reporter for a TV station.
Oh, you know what? I think his character may have been in the James Gunn Superman movie.
Oh no, did you go see it?
I just might have.
Oh no.
There
Oh
was
no.
a sports reporter guy who I think
Yeah,
his
it's
name
probably
was
him then.
Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. Because he had like a 10-year run where he was a regular from like I think it was issue this is 264. I think like issue 3 round 384 he left the series or he was written out of
Hmm.
the series. So that's a good 10-year run. But he made appearances after that. And that was pre-crisis and then post-crisis he's been popping up in Superman stories as well. So,
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like if he's got his knees fixed in this issue, why is he being a
Yeah, I
reporter? Why
know.
isn't he out there slinging it?
Oh, because well, we at the end of this issue we find he retires because he's so ashamed. Remember at the end? Oh, we'll get to it. That's
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, this is the first appearance of old Slingin' Steve Lombard. So all right, that's all I got. So I guess we can get to the book. So, and maybe at the end we'll get Jank's review of the Superman movie
Ooh,
as a
stay
tease.
tuned.
Yeah. Uh, although yeah, you should really save it for the LCS show though.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't
All
want to
right.
spoil it all here.
Yeah. All right. So
You
why don't you
tease it
describe
out.
the cover for us there, Jake?
Okay, so this is a very early 70s looking cover in my eyes. It's got just kind of a little corner circle. It just says DC and very tiny underneath it says Superman. And then the other side of the book it says 20 cents in another circle. And then we got the Superman logo. Superman is flying above the logo, just
Yeah.
so in
Keep
case you
keep
didn't
in
know which
mind.
one was Superman.
Yeah, back in the day, like the way the comics were displayed, uh, usually another comic would be in front of, they'd be stacked like behind each other. So
Yep.
like the DC, the 20 cents, and that flying Superman would all be seen. You know. So
Smart.
yep.
Yep, that's good. That's good logoing.
Yeah.
So then we got a for some reason there's some kind of weird apparently that solar radiation is coming down even stronger than anyone thought because the sky is yellow, a bright yellow in Metropolis today,
Yeah.
according to this cover.
It
But
is
there's a
strange.
football game going on. There's everyone seems to be just having a full-on melee. Like everyone's tackling each other. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on back there. Um, and in the foreground, the phantom quarterback, who is just a quarterback who does not have any like arms and legs and a face, just like the clothes of a quarterback and the helmet. And the ball is just kind of floating there where the hand should be. So he's running down the field and slugging Superman with the other hand and just giving him a good punch in the chest, and Superman's doubling over.
And this is at a point when football players wore long sleeve shirts. Goes right
Yeah.
down to his wrist. Yeah. Yeah, just a floating football uniform punching Superman in the chest. And but I like the cover. I like the tilt of the cover, like the ground line there is tilted and composition's nice. But this is Nick Cardy is the artist on this, not Swan.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I like the cover. The yellow sky is weird, but
I guess you got to mix it up once in a while. You can't
yeah.
just always have this same color covers.
So there it is. Secret of the Phantom Quarterback. All right, you like the cover there, Jay?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not the
Yeah,
greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's fine.
it's exciting.
I
All right, so we
like that
open
the
up,
Phantom quarterback is like flying, like his feet are not touching the ground at
yeah,
all.
and he's punching Superman good. So, all right, now
With
we
an
open it
invisible
up
fist.
and we see that bicycle ad you mentioned. One for
Yeah,
roads, one for
one
loads.
for loads.
Raleigh Industries of America. They make good bikes
Yeah. Although it
because
looks like the only load it can handle is like one bed, like tiny, bedroll,
yeah,
sleeping bag.
yeah, it seems like the kid is
So,
carrying the backpack and most of the load. It's really the bike just carrying the old sleeping bag. But there you go. Now we get a big splash page. Again, the DC at the time, they did this all the time where they'd have a splash page that was not part of the story. Like it was disconnect. Like it wasn't like the story didn't continue from the splash page like in Marvel. DC there'd be a symbolic splash page
Yes.
of what
Of things that
happened through the
may or may
story.
not end up happening somewhat later in the story.
So in this splash page, we get on the left, it's divided down the middle, and on the left we see the Phantom quarterback chucking a car at Superman. He's just hurling. Although now the Phantom quarterback is actually a full being, his arms and everything,
Hmm.
and his football sure only doesn't go down to the wrist either anymore, so that's nice. And then on the right we see Slinging Steve Lombard. He has a disco amulet as well, like the Red Ghost.
Yeah. Maybe sing another one next week. That's a
Oh, hey now.
tease.
But he's tackling Clark Kent, and Lois is standing by watching it all, and Clark is saying "oof."
He's got to
So
fake
called, yeah.
it.
So on the field or off, in uniform or out of uniform, Clark Kent and Superman meet the most formidable foe they've ever tackled. When the man of might and his timid alter ego try to unravel the secret of the Phantom quarterback. Was the man of
Yeah,
might
calling him
something
the
they
most
called?
formidable foe he's ever.
Well, he usually fights Lex
Yeah,
Luthor,
no,
a
growing
middle-aged
up
bald
man of
man.
steel.
So yeah,
That is true. He's years away from Doomsday, so maybe this was the worst.
I'm telling you, I went through 2 decades of Superman issues, and they didn't have one interesting villain on the cover. It was pretty bad.
A lot of Toy Man.
Yeah, you keep waiting for Spider-Man, nothing but cool villains on every cover. But Superman is like, what are we
Yep.
doing? So,
We got the dregs.
all right, Jack. Now we open it up, and the story starts in earnest. And why don't you describe what happens here in this first page?
Oh, this might be one of the best first pages in any comic ever. So we got Steve there. He's walking to the Super Bowl. Again, he's like, "Oh, hated to send those ladies home last, and all three of them early, but we had curfew, and I got the Super Bowl coming up today, so better get there quick."
Now,
And
in
all of
fairness,
a
in
sudden,
'73, the Super Bowl really wasn't what it is today. So it was, it
that's
wasn't
true.
the
It
big
was not like
thing.
the all-day event.
Yeah. So it really was just
Like,
another game he's going to.
I'll get there when I get there. But then suddenly, a childlike scream cuts through the morning quiet, and some lady just chucked her baby off of the balcony of her apartment complex. And he's like, "Oh, some lady must have fumbled that baby on the terrace, but I think this was intentional. She clearly just wanted that baby gone."
Yeah, I don't know because also I cut you off. I think you were in the first panel. He was saying I hated to send Pamela, Sandy, and Ingrid home early last night. Yeah, so
Yep.
he's making four the night before the Super Bowl. And but yeah, in the second panel, because there's three vertical panels at the top, and there's a lady, you can see her just standing there on the balcony, and it looks like the baby is leaping off the balcony. He's just had enough of this cruel, cruel world. And
Yeah. This lady
they're
may have
like
punted him. I'm not sure.
they're on like the second floor. And yeah, he is man, or I guess the third floor technically if you count the first floor of the but anyway,
Yep, yep.
um yeah, that baby and the mom is just like looking at the baby jumping off the balcony. She's not really
You see
like
the baby screaming, but I don't see any screams coming from her. Like, ah,
no.
my baby.
Yeah, you think her arm would be extended trying to catch him or something, but no, she's just sitting
Yeah.
there watching this baby jump off the balcony.
She's just like, ah, hell, now I got to drop a toaster in the bathtub later or something. Get rid of this baby a second time.
So, and then in the third panel, you just see the baby going head first into the pavement. Like it is gonna be ugly. But thankfully,
Yep.
Slinging Steve Lombard is there.
He scrambles. Even though I got these bad knees, I'm gonna catch this baby, and he does. Luckily, he catches him just in the nick of time.
Intercept.
But
He yells.
but immediately his knees start to buckle, and he looks like Elvis dancing.
Yeah, Joe Namath had terrible knees. All right, so but yeah, because he's thinking to himself, gotta scramble like mad, just enough time to, and then he says intercept out loud instead of interception or reception. He's a quarterback. I don't think he'd want to intercept anything. Yeah.
Yeah, not usually.
Yeah. but just at the critical moment, nodding in my knees. And his knees are like touching almost, and his feet are far apart. And in the background, we see this bespectacled fellow with a beard walking down the street. And thankfully, he's a doctor, but not the
Yeah.
kind of doctor you would expect.
And I'm not sure exactly the sequence of events here because like
Yeah,
Steve just kind of comes to consciousness sometime later, like, hey, what the hell happened? Like, what do you mean? Like your bad knees doesn't make you go unconscious
they were
that I
so
know
painful. He blacked out because of the pain and the bad knees. Yeah.
of. That's a weird one.
So poor
I
slinging
think this
Steve.
doctor may have just chloroformed him or something, come
Yes, I
up
was
behind him
confused
and
as
like
well. It seemed like this doctor just abducted slinging Steve Lombard and maybe the baby. I don't know what
yeah.
happened to the baby.
This baby or this machine runs on baby bones.
So, so yeah, this doctor now we cut the next page and we open up with a panel of the doctor. In the narration says hazy, unremembered hours later. Oh no. What else happened to
He
Steve
wakes
when
up
he
and
was
his
out?
pants are unbuckled. Yeah.
Yes. And the doctor says, about time you came around, son. That was a noble deed you did, saving that infant's life. Why don't you play Steve Lombard? Because you're an athlete.
Oh yeah.
You love football. So
Where am I? Last thing I know, I was blacking out from pain when my blasted knees started acting up.
I happened to be passing by, saw your plight, and brought you here to my lab for treatment.
Treatment? This doesn't look like a much like a doctor's office to me.
Of course not. Frederick Fow, F-O-W-E,
Oh yeah.
Frederick Fow, you think I would know how to say my own name, is much more than a mere doctor. I am a scientific miracle worker. Behold my creation.
Yeah. A little science fictiony, isn't it, Pop?
Yeah. Oh no, it's a working science fact. An ultraviolet healing ray that derives its power from the sun. Health through solar energy. Keep it going. Let's keep rolling.
Uh-oh, nobody's using that thing on me.
But I already have, son. That's what you want to hear. Look at your knees. Feel them. Touch them.
And the doctor's hitting him with the hammer. He's like, hey, don't hit me there.
All right, that's enough. But so yeah, so the doctor just did this medical procedure without slinging Steve Lombard's consent.
Yeah.
And he didn't take him to a
An
hospital.
experimental procedure that we don't know if it's going to work at all.
He took him to his experimental lab and he hits him with this violet healing ray uh, powered by solar energy. Now, right before the show, Jank and I were doing some research and we learned that the Amazonians of Paradise Island have a purple healing ray
Hmm.
that made its debut in the comics in 1942. So
Oh.
this Frederick Fowl guy is just stealing stuff from Wonder Woman's people. What is going
Yep, they're
on?
not so litigious. They don't
Yeah.
copyright their shit.
He just calls it the violet healing ray. Totally different. Totally different. But yeah, he just shoots there on old Steve Lombard's knees. He rolled up Steve Lombard's jeans high up on his thighs.
Steve Lombard's legs look very smooth now, so I think this also gets rid of the hair on your legs.
We should
It's
mention
laser hair removal.
he's wearing like blue jeans and like a yellow sweater with a yellow plaid butterfly collared shirt underneath the sweater. And then he's got a big disco medallion too around his neck.
Yeah.
He's a fancy dresser. But yeah, Steve says, "Wow, my knees do feel better. Fantastic." Um,
Yeah.
and I also we wanted to look up if this Frederick Fowl character, like I was like, oh, maybe this is setting up something coming down the road here. That this doctor's really an evil guy or something, you know? And
Sure.
but
It
no,
must
this
have
is
something to do with
this
something.
is his first and only appearance. It's just the doctor who happens to be walking down the street, sees the Super Bowl quarterback catch a baby who jumped off a third floor balcony. And then he
I
subjected him to
guess
an experimental laser technology.
I guess with business practices like this, you can see why he didn't, make a big career out of it after this. Like they
Yeah.
probably shut him down real quick.
But you think this is a
Doing
hell of an
procedures
experiment,
on people.
like it healed
Yeah,
his knees. Like if
sure
Joe
did.
Namath had a purple laser that could heal his knees, he'd still be slinging touchdowns today. So, but just at the same moment, though, Jank, that he was sucking in the
Hmm.
solar energy through a giant antenna to power his violet healing ray, there was also some sort of a phenomenon happening, and a
Yeah.
phenomenon spawned
Giant,
by a
biggest
raging hell,
sunspot.
95 million miles away. A raging hell, the largest
That's what we
sunspot
call the sun.
ever to blemish the sun's surface in the past 300 years. And I love in this panel, they show the sun,
Yeah.
and then there's a little box, and they put a little dot inside the box. They're like comparative size to Earth. Bang, right here.
They're always
That's
trying to teach you things in these
yeah.
comics.
But weirdly enough, at the same time this sunspot's going on, Superman's there to take some readings for the Metro Observatory. Now, incredibly, this Metro Observatory, they have gadgets and devices that can withstand the heat of the sun.
Yeah, seems a little far-fetched.
Because Superman is like flying into the sun. But
Yep.
these little boxes that they have tied to his hips, they don't disintegrate at all. They
I
just like,
wonder if it's that weird. Remember, we learned in that one John Byrne issue that he has like some kind of weird power that that's why his clothes
oh,
don't
that's
burn
right.
up because he's got like if they're close enough to his body. Like these are on his
Yeah,
hips, so maybe that counts.
I guess. So, so Superman's getting readings of the sunspot, and I also this Clark Kent is such a jerk too. By the way,
He really is.
he's supposed to be meeting Lois Lane for the Super Bowl. They're going to go to the Super Bowl together, and he just completely blows it off so he can get readings from the sun for the Metro Observatory. He's like, I better hustle and super speed my way back to Earth. The astronomers are expecting Superman with the readings, and a peeved Lois Lane was expecting Clark Kent to show up hours ago.
I don't know,
Hours
but
ago.
wouldn't sunspots be there for a while? Like, I think they're gonna last more than like a couple hours. You could have done this yesterday or tomorrow.
Like, he just treats Lois so poorly. It is astonishing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are they dating at this point? It doesn't seem like it.
I hope not, because she
Yeah.
deserves better. She deserves someone like Slinging Steve Lombard. That's who she deserves. So, all right, so we cut over and to the stadium, Star Stadium.
Hmm.
I guess Star Labs is the sponsor of the stadium,
I guess so.
and it's the last quarter, and still no sign of them. That's Lois thinking that. So, yeah,
Yeah. And they were
fun,
supposed to
fun.
be interviewing Steve Lombard after the thing, and he's not there either.
A lot
Because
of times people
yeah,
would
he's
just say it's
still
the fourth quarter, but it's the last quarter. That lets you know a football fan was writing this.
Yep.
And the
Maybe
team,
that's Lois not supposed to be knowing about sports. Not
Lois
the
is
writer.
smarter. She's smarter than that. But the team that Steve plays for are the I guess the Metropolis Meteors. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hell of a team.
Still a better name than half of the names we have, I feel like.
I'm not a fan of the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are you talking about?
The Minnesota Wild.
Hey, that's a hockey team. How dare you besmirch my beloved hockey? All right, so yeah, there's just an empty seat next to her at the Super Bowl, and she's wearing a red plaid coat and a white Russian hat, like a furry Russian hat. That seems like an odd fashion choice. All right.
If only she had a cool 70s medallion.
So now we cut back to the doctor's office, and Steve's like, "What? You never heard of Steve the Slinger? I thought Steve the Slinger Lombard. I thought it was Slinging Steve Lombard. All right, Steve the Slinger Lombard, ace quarterback of the Metropolis Meteors. Just switch on your TV at 2 o'clock and you can watch me in live action." And the doc's like, 2 o'clock? It's nearly 4 now. And he's like, "Oh man, how long have I
I've been
been up?"
blasting you with rays for like hours.
And so the Hustlers, wow, they really were doing a 70s thing. The Hustlers. The Hustlers are the opposing team. I don't know what fake town is that from in this Superman world.
Yeah. Coast City or
Houston,
something, who knows?
but it's got to be like a fake Houston. It's got to be, I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh, Happyville? Happyville Hustlers.
That sounds like something DC would do.
Yes, it is. It does exactly. So the Hustlers are up 12-0 on the Meteors. Wow, what a thrilling Super Bowl game this was. With only 3 minutes left to play, it looks like a bleak day for Metropolis sports fans. And old Steve Lombard's like, "Oh, blazes! If only I was on the field." And then we see like there's an energy being coming out of the antenna.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get weird and needlessly elaborate because you would have thought just those rays would have made him like an invisible man type of thing
That's what
or
I
given him
thought they were going for.
superpowers,
Yeah.
but yeah, instead they go a couple levels beyond that. It's like Inception, it just keeps going.
So, yeah, it's the sunspot triggered the solar energy into the antenna, and somehow that mutated into a phantom quarterback.
Yeah.
And again, unlike on
By
the
Steve
cover,
wishing he was there, he created a version of him that could be there, but
yes.
not even like immediately because it still has to slowly fly there. So,
And again, on the cover, there's like no body, but just the football outfit. But here, it's he's got his football uniform, and there's a
yeah,
body inside of it.
he looks slightly pinker, but that may just be
Yeah.
the way it's colored here. But
But then whenever anyone looks into his eyes, he he's got like glowing, ghostly phantom eyes.
yeah,
This really is a Scooby-Doo episode.
it really is.
You mentioned that last week, but yeah, I think it really is. Also, I want to point out that the uniforms of the Metropolis Meteors are a train wreck because they're
They're
like
pretty bad.
they're green and purple, and that's fine. But then the helmets are blue. What's going on?
Yeah. I guess they're all kind of cool colors, in the cool
Yeah, but
family. So that's something, but still,
yeah,
I don't know.
maybe put on a green helmet instead of the blue helmet. I don't know.
A
But
little
so
much.
the Phantom quarterback is flying to the stadium, and then Superman is also flying to the stadium because he has that date with Lois that he's hours late for. But that's still not enough, Jack, because what happens on the way to the stadium?
Well, there's a couple of guys dressed up like security guards, I guess, who are robbing the place. They're running outside, carrying big bags of money. Probably have dollar signs on them. And they're like, "Yeah, our decoy gang is keeping the Star Stadium police busy on the inside while, we just run away with all the money." And Superman oversees this, so he's like, "Aha! Well, I'm going to use my heat vision to bust open this fire hydrant and spray you guys with water." And then once you're all wet, I'm going to like zap you with my heat vision, turn your clothes into, super hot steaming clothes. So they're gonna like burn your skin, like scald your skin off. And
It was
then
this again. This is also very needlessly elaborate. He's
yeah.
Superman. He could have just flown down, grabbed both of them by the collars, and that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
But he breaks
Instead,
a fire hydrant, so now there's going to be water pressure issues at the stadium, and there's going to be a
yeah.
big mess everywhere. With all this water just running loose.
Ooh,
And but then yeah, he zaps their clothes off.
yeah. Well, they have to take them off quickly so they don't, completely burn to death. And then he just kind of leaves them there in their
Well,
underpants. Doesn't even really do anything to, like make sure they don't leave, make sure they're
yeah,
caught.
he recovers the stolen money and just flies off. But they say someone will get you for this, Superman. And then what does Superman say, Jank? Do you have it there?
Not in your lifetime, chump. I'm sure the police will be glad to furnish you two with dry duds in jail.
Not in your lifetime, chump. That's a great line. Not what I. But this Superman guy's a real jerk.
Yeah.
He's the
He's
worst.
just like embarrassing criminals more than
This
anything, I
this
feel
is
like.
why I hate Superman. He's the
He's just the
worst.
bully kicking sand in people's face at the beach.
Yeah, calling them chumps. And then the next panel we see Clark Kent running like he's just pointing to the field screaming. And Lois is like, "Hey,
Like he's
wait."
been there the whole time.
Yeah, she's like, "Wait, Clark, you're here? What the hell? I'm mad enough." And he's like, "Lois, down. What does he say? Lois, downfield. Look who just showed up." And Now we see Steve in the doctor's office. He's still watching the game on TV, and he notices that number 12 is coming onto the field, and that's him. And this
TB12.
this panel with Steve, he looks like Jay Leno a little bit with
Yeah,
a weird
he really
haircut.
does. A lot of chin.
This artist foretold the coming of Jay Leno. Kurt Swan.
If only he had been wearing a lot of denim,
Kurt
then we'd
Swan
know
had
for
a
sure.
vision. But he's like, if I were calling the plays, I'd make it 23x. Wow. And he's like, wow, the way the team is lining up, there's the play he called. And yeah, so Steve is controlling this phantom quarterback through his
Yeah.
will. And and wouldn't you know it, with just even though there's only 3 minutes left to play in the game, phantom quarterback leads them to a touchdown, and then the team gets a fumble, which happens all the time. And then he scores another touchdown,
Yeah.
and the Metropolis Meteors win the game. And he's running all over the field, even though he has bum knees. And people like watching this are like, what is going on? How does Slinging Steve, oh, I'm sorry, Steve the Slinger Lombard, go Slinger go? How is he running like this with his bum knees, you know? And he's just going all over the field, and he scores the winning touchdown. And what I want to know is what happened to the other quarterback who was filling in, you know?
Yeah.
Like this phantom just flies in out of nowhere. Like the coach don't talk to him. The other quarter, hey, wait, what? I was doing this game here. Like everyone just accepts that this phantom quarterback is now Steve Lombard and he's leaving the team.
Yeah. They
Oh,
also probably got a too many men on the field call there because they had two quarterbacks out there.
what is going on? But yeah, and I guess after the game, he just disappears. So like a day later in the screaming room of the Meteors training HQ, Lois Lane is interviewing Steve Lombard. And now Steve, he still has the disco medallion on, but now he's wearing an orange turtleneck.
Yeah.
He's pretty snazzy. And
So hip.
she's like, "You just disappeared after the game, you know?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I just wanted to get away by myself for a while." And he's like, "And please
To
call
rub
me,
one out.
please call me Steve, beautiful." And yeah, he's very. But then he thinks to himself, as soon as I found out that the other number 12 had disappeared, I decided to take credit for yesterday's winning touchdown. Now everyone thinks he was me. Yeah,
Which
and
I don't know who wouldn't.
yeah,
It basically was in a way. Like,
yes. I don't think you have to lie about anything. I mean, basically, it was
yeah.
you. So then Clark Kent comes in again. He's late as always, and Lois is mad. You can tell by her word balloon. It's like very angry. She says, "Oh,
Yeah.
we really didn't notice." Steve, meet my colleague Clark Kent. So they meet each other, and Steve Lombard, he's trying to squeeze his hand tight on the handshake. Real alpha move. That's what Jank always
Yeah.
does too. He tries to break people's hands when he shakes their hands,
That's
and
right.
Clark he has to fake it like it hurts. He's like, "Oh, or Lois will be
Some
suspicious."
handshake you got there, Slinger.
Yeah. Man, this he calls Steve Slinger. He says, "Ha, this Kent's a 6 foot milkshake." Is that what does that mean?
It means he brings all the boys to the yard.
That's what I thought as well. But Lois seems attached to him anyway. Maybe I can change that. So yeah, Steve, a romantic rival now for Lois.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Yep. If he's
and
gonna be working at the planet, I can see this leading to all kinds of
well,
shenanigans.
again, it's not the plan now. What's the station? WJ.
Oh yeah, the to the news station.
I wonder if they did that to try and cash in on the popularity of Mary Tyler Moore Show, because that came out in 1970 about working at a local news station on TV.
Yeah,
Uh,
possible.
yeah. So I tie everything back to either hockey or classic TV shows. That's how my mind works. Um, all right. So I did actually I read about the Wikipedia article about Steve Lombard, and they said he was inspired in part by Ted Baxter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. They wanted to
Oh,
make him that kind
okay.
of like a blowhard who always, kind of was a dummy as well. But all right. So what does he want to do here to impress Lois there, Jake?
He's going to tackle Clark.
Well, he's going to try and run past Clark. He tells Clark to tackle him. Steve is carrying Lois's purse as the football, and he says, "Clark, try to tackle me."
Yeah, but Clark doesn't even try, and Steve runs into him anyway. That just throws his shoulder into him.
Yeah. And Clark says, I got to, give, or he'll crush himself like an accordion against my invulnerable body. So that's the thing. Like, like Lois, she's upset by this. She says, he's like, sorry about that, Kent. Guess I got carried away. And Lois is like, you brute, can't you see how delicate Clark is? Clark Kent is a massive human being.
He really is.
Like, he's just
Like the
Superman in
suits
a
can't
suit.
hide that fact that
Yes.
he is, yeah, he is a
It's
brick shithouse.
yes. It's not like he's my size when he doesn't. And then he turns into Superman. No, he's always an enormous human. So I don't
Yeah,
know why any
it's
like
quite tall, quite,
yeah.
yeah, quite thick.
So anyway. All right, so now what happens, Sir Jack?
Okay, here's where it gets weird because
Yeah.
apparently the Phantom quarterback is still out there, but because I don't know exactly why, he's given up following whatever Steve wants and is just following whoever's closest, like whoever's nearby is gonna follow their will. And there's like the commissioner, I'm not sure if he's the commissioner of the football league or
Yeah, I have no idea.
what, the police commissioner, could be anything. But he's in a car. Some guy's driving him, and they're stuck in traffic. And he's like, "Bah, there's too many vehicles circulating in this city. If I had my way, every parking lot in Metropolis would be cleared off and closed down." And the Phantom quarterback just happens to be flying overhead, and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll do that." And he just starts deciding to wreck shop on the streets there and just wreck all the cars.
Yeah, he just flies in and like Finn Balor off the top rope doing the coup de grace, stomps this roof of a car. Like that person's dead now. Who's ever in that car is
Yeah.
dead.
Well,
That
that might be the
oh,
parking lot, it looks
okay,
like.
yeah. I
So,
thought
yeah,
yeah, because the
maybe there's
streets were
nobody
lined up with
inside.
traffic, but yeah, maybe that was the parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, man, that stinks. But everyone thinks it's Steve Lombard flying through the sky and coup de gracing these
Steve
cars.
Lombard's a real jerk.
Yeah. So Lois is going to go call the cops, and she tells Clark to, wait here or whatever. And Clark goes and turns into Superman, and he's going to go get Steve Lombard, and he hates Steve Lombard because of what he did and that he's trying to get Lois. So he really wants to get down there and just beat the hell out of Steve Lombard. But but the Phantom quarterback evades him, and Superman just flies right into the ground. That is weird. Uh, but then
Well, this
he,
guy has such good knees, so
yeah,
there's no stopping him.
but then he looks at him. He's like, "Don't play dumb, Slinger. You can't clip me." Great Scott, he isn't Lombard, and he uses
Yeah, he
his
uses his
X-ray
X-ray
vision.
vision on him.
Yeah, and he's just swirling explosive energy. That's how I've been described many times as well. Yeah. Swirling explosive
Uh-huh.
energy. And so the Phantom quarterback, he just dives straight at Superman head first. That's how you break a neck. But he just spears him right in the chest. And then we get a repeat of the splash page. He picks up a car and chucks it at Superman, and Superman flies at him, and he's like, "I got to enough scrimmaging. I've got to dump number 12 before he causes any more damage." All right. Oh, now we get to the music ad.
Oh yeah, the old Columbia House Record Club.
But here it's
A
like eight
scam
track
I fell for.
cassettes.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's an image of like three tiers of stacked up eight tracks, it looks like. And
Any
they say,
15 records for only 197
yeah,
or
what a
any
deal.
tapes or 11 tapes for
Oh,
197.
okay. 11 tapes. But how about that? 15 records for $1.97. Now, some of the bands here, Poco, Heavy Cream, Andy Williams, Gilbert D. Sullivan. I don't know. Uh, or the original cast of Godspell, Sonny and Cher, Yes, Three Dog Night, Sly in the Family Stone, Chicago 5, Sammy Davis Jr., nice. Uh, who is this one? West
West
Bruce
Bruce and
I have
Lang? I
no
don't
idea who
know.
that is. Oh, the Osmonds Live. That'll be a good one.
My
Neil
mom would love
Diamond,
that one.
Rod Stewart, Procol Harum. What the hell?
Hmm.
I don't know that. Herb Albert
No,
and the
that's
Tijuana Brass. Yes, please. That'd be great. Paul Simon. Oh, me and Julio down by the schoolyard. That's nice. Al
nice.
Green, Chicago. The Partridge Family. Shopping Bag is the name of the album. That'd be great. I'll take the perk. Like, which ones would you take, Jank, if you had to pick? Well, not 15, because that's all of them. If you had to pick
Ooh.
three, who would you? I'd go Partridge Family. Um, yeah. Oh, Carlos Santana's in here.
Ooh.
A lady named
Oh, I'd probably
Melanie.
go Alice Cooper. I could take some Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper. Wow. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
Cheech and Chong, Big Bamboo.
ooh,
T-Rex. Man, another Osmonds, Janis Joplin, Elton John, the OJs, Chuck Berry, uh, Neil Young, Aretha Franklin. And then you go to the
the
next
Moody
page.
Blues. That might not be bad.
You got Carole King, more Neil Diamond, Johnny Nash. Do you think they meant Johnny Cash or Johnny Nash?
It says Johnny Nash.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess Johnny
know.
Nash. I don't know who
I
that
can
is.
see you clearly. That doesn't sound like a Johnny
Yeah,
Cash
no,
song
it's
that I
not a
know.
Johnny Cash
So,
song, so never heard of Johnny Nash. Another Partridge Family at home with their greatest hits. Yes, I'll take that one too, please.
oh, Inside the Mind of Bill Cosby. Definitely want that one.
Got to put the pills in the people.
Sure, but that one's flying off the shelves.
Oh, you also have a David Cassidy along with the Parker. So man, some Cat Stevens, Carpenters, Four Tops. Yeah, I'll take the two Partridge Families and Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass. Done and done. So there you go. That's pretty great.
Bill Withers, still Bill. That's a good
So,
name.
all right, now we cut back to our story, and Superman's still fighting that Phantom quarterback. And when he tries to tackle him, he like gets zapped with some energy. And he's like, every atom of my body flaring up, ignited by the mysterious energy responsible for this thing. Must break loose. A few more jolts like that, and Howard Cosell will be broadcasting my obituary. Wow. This Phantom quarterback really is his greatest enemy.
Yeah. Holy hell.
So this is when Superman says, he's thinking to himself, I have to concentrate, make use of the anger I feel toward the real slinger as Clark Kent. Anger that makes me want to pulverize Steve Lombard. Superman is the worst.
You just met him. It wasn't that
Yeah.
bad. All he did was tackle you, and it didn't even hurt.
It's Superman's burning dudes' clothes off. He wants to pulverize other dudes. He's blowing off Lois Lane, dates with her.
Got some anger issues.
Yes, clearly anger issues. So, but then the Steve Lombard or the Phantom quarterback's flying away, so he's chasing after him now. And then, because he thought to himself he wants to pulverize Steve Lombard, the Phantom quarterback picked up on that, and
Yep.
now the Phantom quarterback is going to pulverize Steve Lombard. And, and Steve's walking down the street with Lois Lane, and
Uh-oh.
yeah, and this is a great panel of Steve Lombard on the left in his turtleneck, and then the face of the Phantom quarterback, oh, googly eye.
Yeah, with the crazy lit up eyes.
And like Superman runs and he grabs the Phantom quarterback by the ankles, just inches away from him hitting Steve Lombard. But at no point does Superman says he never realizes that, oh, I got to save Lois Lane here because like
You
Lois is
know?
standing right next. Like if he pulverizes Steve Lombard, Lois is getting pulverized as well. They're like, so. But Superman doesn't even care. Doesn't even care.
Well, I guess he got the job done either way. No one got pulverized.
But I think his big motivation would be to save Lois. No, it doesn't even think of Lois.
I mean, his real love was Jimmy Olsen, let's be honest.
So Superman's got Phantom quarterback by the ankles, and he just screams, "Go back where you came from!" And sure enough, he's like, "Oh, I'm in agony, but my hunch is paying off." Yeah, because he's getting shocked by holding this Phantom quarterback.
Yeah.
When my momentary anger triggered the Phantom quarterback's attack on the real Steve Lombard, I figured that this mindless menace fulfills the thoughts of other people's desires, even mine. Wow, this Superman, he's something. Great galaxies, the Phantom's heading for the sun. Can that be where it came from? Yeah, so the sunspot energy just returns to the sun. And there you go.
Yep.
So that's it. Now, the ending here, Jank, would you like to take us through this final page?
So Slingin' Steve, he's on TV there and he's giving a press conference. And because I dishonestly took credit for a game I didn't play, I'm hereby tendering my resignation from the Meteors and football. I thank thank all my fans for their support. Goodbye.
Jack's Jack's really adding the emotion to the thing.
Getting all choked up.
Yeah, because they have choke in like little lines in the
Yep.
dialogue. But again, like you mentioned, Steve's got good knees now, man. Like
Yeah, he could play for who knows how many more years.
I think people will forgive you. And by the way, if you're the Hustlers, aren't you filing a petition with the league? Like we
Yeah.
lost to a phantom quarterback. That wasn't Steve Lombardi. Like,
We were winning up until that weird
yeah,
sunspot guy came in.
I think we either need to replay this or you just need to give us the championship. One of the two. Because
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah, he resigns there, and the station manager. Oh wait, on the cameras, it's WGB or something. I don't know. Oh, WGBS TV, WGBS, WG bullshit
Rolls right off
TV.
the tongue.
But the station manager is a big fan of the Slinger, and he offers him a job as the sportscaster. And he says you can share the 6 o'clock report with Clark Kent. And he's like, you just hired yourself a star, Mr. Edge. And then Clark's in the foreground with his hand on his forehead. And he's like, oh no, that means I'll be on the receiving end of all his insults from now on. Dun, 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 dun. The end. So,
Wah, wah.
could have had a better ending there, like a funnier line.
Superman better start calling him a chump.
Yeah. Because
He
actually, if you go
could
through the
insult him
story,
on his
I
own.
yeah, I don't recall Steve ever insulting him out loud. He called him a milkshake in his thoughts, but I don't
That's
think
right.
he.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's gonna like tackle you every day at work.
Yeah. And then coming super attractions in the June Action Comics 424, Superman clashes with Gorilla Grodd. I
Oh,
love Gorilla Grodd. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And then in Superman 265, the Man of Steel and Perry White face an attack by the Army of Tomorrow. Why is Perry White getting involved in this?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know why Perry White's in the book if he's working at this,
Oh,
TV studio now.
wait, Jank, I just saw the rest of the description. A full-length thriller which pits Superman against his strangest foes of all time, Earthmen with four thumbs. That's what I'm talking about. Like his Superman was terrible back then.
How is
Like
Superman gonna beat the guys with four thumbs?
I, I
That's
can't win
unbeatable.
this fight. They have four thumbs. I'm overpowered here.
If they
Yeah,
had three thumbs, I'd be all right. But the fourth one,
I can't. It's too hard. Like
is he playing them at Galaga, and that's why he can't win? They've just got too many fingers to work them
they're all
joysticks.
thumb wrestling. So yeah, I don't know, man. Superman was the worst. So bad. This story was great though. I love this story. I loved every second of this
Oh
story.
my God.
but, but yeah, I was going through those
Yeah,
books and it was
they
like
got it
I
together
didn't
for this one.
like even like Lex Luthor wasn't prominent on a lot of covers or anything. Like he was on some, but I don't know. There's some weird dude like I don't even remember his name, but
Really?
yeah, it was I don't know, man. There was there was nothing going
They
on.
just did not know what they were doing.
There was one issue with Solomon Grundy, so that was cool. But yeah, no idea. All right, anyway, then you got the Metropolis mailbag. Um, and now we get the backup feature. The fabulous untold stories of wait, well, how does this work? The fabulous like look at
Fabulous
that.
World of Krypton,
Yeah,
untold stories of Superman's native planet.
the way that logo is divided is very confusing.
Yeah, they just got the fabulous and then worlds in like a little balloon or like a little ball by itself. And
Yeah.
then it's Krypton.
Yeah, because the untold stories of it is directly under the fabulous. That's why I read it like that. And then there's a blue circle with world, completely different. But you're supposed to read that. Okay, anyway. And this was the art here was by Dave Cockrum of Uncanny
Yeah.
X-Men fame. Uh,
Hmm.
the all new, all different X-Men. All right, so basically, you said you just blew through this. You didn't think about it too much.
Yeah, I skimmed it. I got the
All
gist of it,
right.
I feel like.
So the
This does
scriptures
not
by
seem like any of the Krypton I've ever seen
yeah, it's a
before.
weird Krypton. It's a script by Elliot Magan. I don't know who that is. But there's a foxy blonde lady who has a kid, and he's running to like some little teleporting cube or something, or tube. I don't know what this is, but he has to go to school or something. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
but he's imagining like this attack of what does he say? Dick, the guy's name. Oh, Rickar. I thought it was Dickar.
Dickar. That'd be a
He's
great name.
he's a real Dickar. I am one of Rickar's marauders. Storming Takani's fortress by air. So he's imagining he's this big warrior, and she's like, oh, don't forget to go to school without your headband. You know, you got to wear your headband. He's like,
Yeah.
warriors, mothers don't
Warriors'
make
mothers
them.
don't make them wear headbands.
Pretending is fine, Nimid. That's his Nimid, his name. But at least get your history
Must be
right.
Kryptonian for Nimrod.
Rickar's men went into battle on foot, and they all wore headbands. Yeah, because he imagined them riding some winged dragon thing.
Yeah.
And she says, "Listen while I tell you how they became the headband warriors of Krypton." Dun, dun, dun.
You're gonna make believe. You gotta at least do it right.
So I don't know what's going on here. Like the wedding day of tribal healer Rickar and teacher
Yeah.
Johnny proved that even on an enslaved people can have, or that even an enslaved people can have happy occasions. Why were they enslaved?
Yeah. I know nothing about this part of Krypton history.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, like the way ladies dressed for weddings back then was something.
Hmm.
She she's barely wearing any clothing whatsoever. So
But they do
they
have to have headbands. That's important.
yes, so as part of the wedding ceremony, they both are given headbands that tie together. So they're so it's like they're literally joined by marriage. They're wearing these headbands and they can't they try to walk off in different directions and nearly kill themselves.
Now we're all gonna do the electric slide. Good luck.
So but they're people, they're still enslaved for some reason. And yeah, these bunch of jerks are real Krypton, and they're making them build things. And the one slave guy's like, I broke my leg, and the slave guy's all right. Well, then crawl. You got to keep working there, buddy. What you doing?
Yep, you better pull a rock while you're crawling.
So Rickar he comes up with this scheme, and he says, "Oh, I got an idea of how we can
Yeah.
beat these guys. What we're going to do here." And then we cut, and it's a big mystery what's going to happen. But apparently the scheme involved taking a magic pill that gave everyone the plague for one day. I don't know what
Yeah, or they just got like a magic marker and drew on hives, I guess.
no, they all took this pill, and yeah, so they broke out in hives, and all the terrible people, the slavers or whatever, they're like, oh my God, they got the plague, and they send everybody home like, hey, you got to go home and rest for a day to get over the plague. So and they say, "Hey, Rickard, you got to heal these people, because you're the healer." And he's like, "Oh, okay, but there's really no cure for a plague." And they're like, "Well, you better find one." So again, I don't know why any of this had to happen. All right, well, I guess they say here in a minute, I guess. So then the next day they come back and they're all wearing headbands,
Yeah.
and the guards are
This
like,
was
"Wait,
Rickard's big idea. Like
yeah, like what?"
this, I found a way to cure this crazy disease is by wearing these headbands. That's the cure.
And the slave guys are like, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't know if I believe that." And the main guy, the tyrant dictator or whatever, he's like, "Hey, check those headbands. They probably have weapons in the headbands." And
Yeah.
so the guards check the headbands, and there are no weapons. So they go about their work there. And then at one point, Johnny, that the lady who got married to the healer, she fakes that she passes out. So then the one guy says, "Hey, healer, go over there and heal that lady who passed out." And that's his wife. So he's like, "Oh, yeah, she's acting good." And he runs over to healer. And while everyone's distracted by her passing out, what happens, Jack? Do you know?
Yeah. So they all start ripping off their headbands and using them to fling rocks at people, like a slingshot essentially.
Also, just choking
Uh,
them. They were just
Yeah.
strangling them with their headbands.
Who knew headbands
I
were the
mean,
greatest weapon ever invented?
couldn't they have just picked up rocks and thrown them? I don't know.
Yeah, you would think. Or
And
maybe just
couldn't they
use
have,
their shirts, like, I
used
don't
their hands
know.
to choke them as well?
Yeah. If only they had four thumbs, that would have really made the
Yes.
difference.
I don't know if these headbands are like this secret weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, headbands.
Yeah, this story posits that they are, though.
So yeah, they just tear through all their captors here with these headbands, and uh, and they force the dictator. They catch him, and they force him to like declare that everybody's free now or whatever, and he signs his proclamation, and so they defeated the guy. Everyone's free now. Yay, Krypton's free. I don't understand what's going on, and
Yeah.
he be freedom became the right of every man, woman, and child on Krypton. And she's like, so you understand, Nimid? And now how the headband became the symbol of a free man on Krypton, and why it's customary to wear it whenever people get dressed up. I don't ever recall seeing Superman wear a headband
No.
at any
Or
point.
even like Jor-El and them. Like maybe they had like headpiece things, but not like a headband.
Maybe this story inspired Megaforce. You remember when Bruce Boxleitner wore the headbands?
Yeah. We
That's
can
an
only hope.
obscure movie reference. All right. So then in the final panel, she says, I hope you learned your lesson there. And then the kid says, yes. As soon as I get to school, I'm putting a stone in my headband and overthrowing the slave masters. She's like,
So she just
Nimid.
created a school shooter.
Yes. And she's like,
But with
Nimid,
headbands.
no, I didn't mean. And then she thinks to herself, oh, what can you do with children today? The end. That's a pretty great ending. I like the ending a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna overthrow the school.
With my headband.
That's all it takes.
So this issue, I loved every second of this. This is great. I don't know.
It was one of the more ridiculous things we've done on the show. I'll have to
Yeah,
give it that. Yeah.
the Phantom quarterback, the baby jumping off the balcony.
The power of the headband.
It's yeah, the headband is just icing on the cake. It really puts it over the top here. So yeah, this is exactly the kind of book we want to do here in Flea Market Fantasy.
Yeah.
Just batshit crazy stuff.
Sounds like Superman's got a lot of those, so.
Now I got to go back and read the story about the guys with the four thumbs.
I know, that sounds really good now. I
How,
want to see how they try to make that intimidating at all.
how does he ever stop the guys with four thumbs? Um, all right, maybe someday we'll get back to that one.
Yep.
I don't know, Jank. I think again on a like on a bad comic scale or whatever, this is everything we want. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'd have to
going
go pretty high for
I'm
that.
going 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this, this is amazing. Yeah,
That's bold. I think I'll go with an 8. I'll go
yeah,
slightly
that's
lower, but
fair.
it was pretty great.
Yeah,
Don't have
that's
a lot
fair.
to complain about here.
Yeah, this
Art
is
was
amazing.
solid.
So there you go, Superman 264. Check it out if you get the chance. All right, so you saw the movie,
I
the
did.
whole Superman,
I
because
did see the
you've been wanting to see
Supermans.
this Superman movie for a while now, and
Hmm.
for those who are unaware, Jank used to be the movie expert of the LCS Hockey Radio Show. He used to go to the theater 3 times a week to see movies. But nowadays he really doesn't. So this
No,
was a
it's
big
dropped off
deal. Yeah,
sharply.
you got. We'll get the whole story of your movie going experience on the LCS
Yeah.
Hockey Show.
It
We'll
may not
really.
have been the only movie I saw.
Oh wow, we'll break that down over there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, don't ruin everything for me because I'd like to get it over the big review over there. But give us a quick overview of this Superman film.
So overall my thoughts were it was good. I'm not gonna say like great.
Hmm.
But I certainly enjoyed it. Um, it's got some fun moments. It wasn't nearly as funny as I thought it would be. Like normally James Gunn's movies are funnier. Not that I want Superman himself to be like, a big source of the comedy, but the other characters could have been funnier, I feel like. Especially the Guy Gardner. Like you got Guy Gardner in there, just make him even more of a funny asshole.
Yeah.
But they didn't go too far with that. So it was overall good though. There were some good action scenes. Some of it just like felt repetitive though. Like I heard such good things about the Mr. Terrific fight scene in like the middle of the movie, and I was like, okay, that'll be fun. But it's basically just the Yondu scene from Guardians too. Like, only instead of an arrow, he's using the T sphere. It's like they even had like the red glow behind them, just like the arrow
Oh
did. It was
man.
like this is like pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Who
So overall, it had some good moments though. There was a lot of heart to it, so that's always nice. You want that in a Superman movie.
how was the guy that plays Lex Luthor?
I thought he was pretty solid. I don't know if it's my favorite version of Lex Luthor. He's not the toughest, but he's also he does good for like a spoiled rich guy, so it makes sense. Um, and it seems like he will get, even tougher from here. He's going, he gets busted at the end and gets hauled off to prison. So
Yeah, because I
sure, it's
thought
only.
the new Superman kid, he looks like Superman to me. He looks good as like a Superman.
Hmm.
You liked him as Superman?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. No
And
complaints there.
the lady I saw they got playing Lois Lane, she looks like Lois Lane to me.
Yep, she did a good job.
But the Lex Luthor, I wasn't buying him as Lex Luthor.
I think he does a pretty good job. I think my favorite's always going to be Michael Rosenbaum on Smallville. He was a really good Lex Luthor, like live action Lex Luthor. But this guy, Nicholas Holt, I thought did a solid job. I quite enjoyed him. I would like to see him come back. Um, his whole plan was interesting. The main villains could have looked cooler, I think for sure. It was like Ultraman and this woman called the Engineer, I think, and they both just kind of had plain like black outfits that really didn't look like much of anything. So it's like, oh, you could have added somebody who, was a little more colorful.
Huh. So, all right. So overall, I'm guessing you're coming in around a 7.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I don't know if that's one that I'm gonna go back and watch a whole lot, but overall it was cool to see like Metamorpho and stuff in there.
Yeah,
Like
Metamorpho.
that's
I'd
always
like to see
fun.
Metamorpho. Was he cool?
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's doing all kind of things that I didn't even realize he could do, but I'm like, oh yeah, that
Metamorpho,
makes sense.
Metamorpho. Yeah. Um,
His like he had a baby, and that baby did not
Bebe.
look good. That baby looked fake. Like they did such a good job with like Crypto with making it look like a real like live action dog that was there, but then like this baby shows up and you're like, oh, that's atrocious.
At
That's
any
not.
point, did Metamorpho's baby leap off a third floor balcony?
Nope. Maybe if it had been Home Alone with Metamorpho's wife, she would have just tossed it. But I
How great would it have been
don't want this
if
green
in that
baby.
movie there was a scene of the baby leaping off the balcony and that Steve guy just catches him and you have no idea why. What is this happening? And then you read this book and you're like, oh my God, it's right out of the book. Yeah, that'd have been great.
Yeah, I was very confused about that Steve guy because at the end, like the reporters decide to jump in a spaceship and they're all going to go on part of the adventure. And for some reason, they bring this Steve, the sports reporter, along. It's like, what? Why would you bring a sports reporter when this has nothing to do with sports?
Uh, oh well, there you go. So, all right, there's Superman for you. All right, Jack. Next week, what do you have for us here on this big show?
So next week on the show, I figured I would do something that's been long, long, long overdue in the fact that this show has been going for what, 6 years,
Yeah.
and we still have not talked about probably my favorite Marvel villain,
What?
the Green Goblin.
Is that right?
Yeah. Never happened.
That
Like
is
we kind of
crazy.
talked about the Hobgoblin in that Roderick Kingsley issue we did,
Yeah.
but we've never really done the Green Goblin on the show. So,
Yeah, he's a top
um,
3 villain for well, maybe 4 now. Thanos has
yeah,
really emerged.
yeah,
Uh,
Thanos has really climbed up the charts recently for
There's
sure.
Doctor Doom, Red Skull, Thanos, Green Goblin, I
Yep.
think, are all the big ones. But
Yeah. But since I'm such a Spider-Man guy, like I think, with him being like the best Spider-Man villain,
yeah.
that's kind of why he's my number one, I think. But so now with I wanted to do like a Norman Osborn Green Goblin story. Like maybe we'll do some of the other ones later on, but I wanted to stick with the OG, the real article.
Yeah, there's only
And
one Green
he's
Goblin. And yeah,
yeah. I mean Harry's good too and stuff like that. There's
no,
some
no,
interesting Harry stories.
one Green Goblin.
But obviously he spends a lot of the Bronze Age dead, so
Yes.
not not too many choices to choose from. And a lot of like
Mm.
the early Green Goblin stories were all in the 60s. So we have kind of a very narrow window of the Bronze Age where the Green Goblin was showing up, the Norman Osborn version anyway. So there's basically two story arcs, one of which was the death of Gwen Stacy, which that's not what we do on this show. We don't do
Yeah,
like the
that's too
good
good. Yeah,
classic
yeah.
stories. Yeah,
We do Phantom Quarterbacks, Mr. Fish, that kind of stuff on this show.
that's right. So we're gonna do the other one, and we're gonna do Amazing Spider-Man number 97.
Okay. This has to, what year is
Yeah.
this? This has to be like
I think this is like
78.
71. Yeah, like this is or maybe even 1970. It's pretty early 70s.
All right, so it's a what's going on here? A Green Goblin and Spidey are.
Harry is getting into the drugs again. He's
Oh, that
having his drug
Harry.
problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the stress of that is bringing out the Green Goblin and Norman, like it's bringing his memories back of being the Green Goblin.
Uh,
So
uh,
we get to
yeah,
see Peter Parker with his swinging 70s medallion.
this really is the Bronze Age if the drug problems are there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking
Everyone
the
is.
comics code and
That's
everything.
right. So, all right, Amazing Spider-Man 97. That'll be here next week on the big show. So, again, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We appreciate the support. And until next week, don't get any jank on you.